Note, by the way, that FateBomb does have control over 2 victory points. He is at 496 right now versus 379, 78 for the dude, a.k.a. Budwise. I already agreed I'd call him Budwise. I'm going to call him Budwise. And the M8 Greyhound was just kind of putting some pressure, just poking around here on the right-hand side of the field. Not too bad. Now we can see the infantry really pushing on in here. Oh, by the way, we have a half-track out there as well. Ooh, interesting half-track choices. And the anti-tank gun. So you can see here, this is a real concerted effort to push on the left-hand side now. Definitely an interesting choice given the fact that he already controls the victory point. Perhaps he was just defending the victory point, or perhaps he's going to get even more aggressive here. But obviously you can resupply out of your half-track. In fact, this is interesting enough that I want to swap back to FateBomb's point of view. So here we go. Bam. Taking a look around, we can see, yes, he just went ahead and upgraded his half-track to have the quad 50 caliber machine guns on it as well. So that is quite interesting. We'll have to see where that's going from. You almost always only see that come out of armor players because they get the most benefit by being able to use the raid ability to capture points using their half-tracks and things like that. So we'll have to see exactly where that's going. And it looks like the engineers maybe even setting up some landmines up here. Yeah, okay, he's preparing for a real assault here. Look how close he's getting to his base right now. FateBomb is pushing all the way up into his base, perhaps. On the right-hand side, we can see that we've got a nice little light armored core out here by Budwise. His Luftwaffe squad, Luftwaffe, I'm sure there's some better way to pronounce that I am completely avoiding, is doing its thing. And right now, these guys are kind of yin-yang style. They each have a blob on the other side of the map, neither engaging. And just check out how far up he's getting right now. We're going to go for a base attack. So I've pointed out before that you can, in fact, actually win this game by destroying everybody's buildings, by destroying all of the buildings in their base area. You can see right now that the anti-tank gun with a little bit of forward spotting from that armored car there has no problem whatsoever getting rid of these light flak base defenses. You can see it took a little bit of a light crit there, got its gunner killed once again. That seems to always happen. By the way, if you ever played a first-person shooter World War II game and been that gunner, happens pretty frequently. People like shooting those. But anyhow, we could have a little bit of base pressure going on here. It's hard to see if FateBomb is actually trying to win the game at this stage, or if he's simply trying to be annoying. Gonna hydrate myself a little bit there. Favorite gaming drink of all time, Cherry Coke Zero with key lime juice. Absolutely delicious. And yeah, he's just gonna go for it. So you can see FateBomb right now inching up. He's got all of the pieces of this puzzle together. He's got some heavy cover up right now for his troops. He's got the half-track here to be able to resupply from. He's got the anti-tank gun to take care of light vehicles. This is looking pretty good. You can see here comes the first attack right now on the southern side. Perhaps Budwise is feeling a little bit confident here, thinking, oh, I'll just get rid of this real quick. You can see, gonna go ahead and fire up the overdrive ability, charging out there with his armored cars. Armored cars being used in a beautiful flank right now to take care of this rear anti-tank gun. This is the second anti-tank gun. They'll take care of that, no problem, but it looks like a real harsh charge going on right now for all of his Panzer Grenadiers. What with the heavy cover from the rifles and the flamethrowers and the Browning automatic rifles, that was no good whatsoever. You can see that this anti-tank gun was completely taken away, but in quick thinking, it looked like FateBomb turned around with all of his fire and just kind of directed it, and all of these guys had to overdrive their way on out of here. So those armored cars right now looking really beat up, as you can see. Damaged gun right here. And now he's just going to go back to attacking the buildings here. This is not good at all. Anti-tank gun is putting some serious pressure up here. You can see it takes a while, but unlike Dawn of War 2, where you only have one building, in Company of Heroes, you obviously have buildings that you've spent time and money building. You can see that they're pretty tough, but these anti-tank gun shots, whenever the next one pops out of it, will do a pretty good job. Yeah, you can see a nice little chunk of hit points coming out of there. So even if he doesn't destroy his entire base, which is kind of a lofty goal usually, there's a lot to be said for just the fact that you know, he's abandoned the entire side of the map. There's nothing at all that would prevent Budwise from just simply capping all of this stuff. But Budwise is going to lose buildings, which means he's going to lose production and lots of other bad things right there. So this is kind of a really tough position he's in right now. Double anti-tank guns are going to work through this base pretty quickly, and he's going to have to start thinking about how he's going to get out of here. Already we see something upgrading right now from the logistics center. I'm going to swap back my point of view, and yes, he's got little anti-tank hand grenades. I forget what they're called, little darts, basically. Kind of like the equivalent of sticky bombs, more or less. Think of them like that, except for they don't have a timer. They just, boom, blow up. So it looks like that's kind of his plan here, is maybe infantry and anti-vehicle grenades. He's going to run out here right now and try his best Yes, he is. He's just going to go for it. You can see he's still getting healed a little bit right now, but he's charging in, and already you can see that it looks like FateBomb is just going to back off a little bit. He has a lot of Browning automatic rifle fire out there. May have even used his suppression ability, I believe, just to suppress the troops as they came in close, and no luck there whatsoever. Oh, that was horrifyingly bad. He took a lot of casualties right now. Great use of suppression, and it looks like now he's just going to move his anti-tank gun back up to a nice safe position and continue whittling away at these buildings. It looks like the Panzer Jaeger Command now taking some damage. And we can see spending the next point on the Wind. I forget exactly how you pronounce that. That was the precursor to the Ostwind. The Ostwind was featured plenty of times. It is a earlier version. It's a flak vehicle, basically really good against infantry and whatnot. Wind, by the way, in German means whirlwind. Ostwind means east wind. Just in case you were curious about that, I love translating these names whenever I can. We can see a little bit of forward spotting going on. I think perhaps even the engineers trying to get up there and get a piece of that. Their flamethrowers, of course, being useful. However, they were taking a little bit of flak. You can see on the right-hand side, the Luftwaffe squad is kind of moving out right now for Budwise. But Budwise is having some trouble here. Now, you can already see FateBomb asked him about a Hummel. The Hummel is available from the Scorched Earth doctrine there. So perhaps he doesn't know what ability he is yet, but I've got to assume that he's seen the Luftwaffe ground forces out there and knows what's up. Now here we have the light anti-tank half-track moving out, and bam! There's that tread breaker once again, I believe, destroying the engine of that vehicle, keeping him out there. Going to continue pounding away with a little bit of light vehicle fire here. Unfortunately, though, he is within range here of this anti-tank gun. There goes, he's losing buildings. Budwise is having a really hard time in his own base right now. Destroyed engine again on the light AT half-track, or damaged engine, I believe that was. We can see the counterattack coming up right now, trying to get within range, throwing his vehicle grenades right there. Bam, bam. Oh, taking out the main gun. Its engine is destroyed, but unfortunately, it's a lame duck out there, but it's just getting massively repaired right now by all these flamethrower engineers, and the counterattack coming in right now from FateBomb as well. FateBomb pushing all the way into Budwise's base. Budwise is really, really cornered here. It doesn't matter how much map control. You can see he is actually capitalizing on this right now, grabbing victory points, but it doesn't matter how much map control he has if he doesn't have a base. He even took the time to put up a Kampfgruppe company, which is the second tier 1 building right now, which is all he can build. He just lost the light anti-half-track, and what he just built was a mortar half-track out of his Kampfgruppe company right now. Really kind of a desperation move on his part. You can see he's taking massive casualties here in front of his own base. This M3 half-track is just gutting him right now, just ripping apart his troops. However, the mortar is doing not too bad of a job here. This mortar is pretty darn effective. Ouch! Look at that. The mortar being used on the repairing engineers, wrecking an entire squad right then. So now he just needs to guard this mortar. The mortar's actually got 5 kills right now. Doing some pretty good damage. They're kind of backing away. You can see the armored cars are trying their best to lay back as far as they possibly can. The riflemen now are right up in his face, doing some nice work there, but gonna have to retreat again as well. And it looks like just maybe, oh, and the Ostwind comes, I'm sorry, the Wind comes out on the field right now. So we got a Flak Panzer out there right now. As you would imagine, Flak Panzer very effective against infantry. Also can shoot down planes, has this quad-barreled thing. Pretty fancy looking vehicle as well. I do love the look of that thing. Anyhow, so Budwise has just bought himself a little bit of time right now. His Kettenkrad is free to kind of scout around a little bit because he does, he can move cloaked now as a result of the Luftwaffe upgrade there. So taking a look around, you can see that the Luftwaffe squad is continuing to cap stuff around here. Just this one squad has just been moving around, grabbing points and whatnot, so that's looking pretty good. The M8 Greyhound is now kind of backing off into a 2 versus 2 invite going out there. Perhaps the dude has a bleak outlook on life at this point, but no worries. We can see the Luftwaffe having to back away for the time being. And now the armored car is just going to kind of hang out here. That looked like that guy popped out of it. And, ooh, we see a little bit of capturing going on right now. So, likely, he is well aware, Budwise is well aware that FateBomb, and I'm going to swap to FateBomb's point of view, has gone armor. And as you can see, yes, he's got Allied War Machine, he's got Raid. He is definitely working his way up to Calliopes. Normally going armor, being the first person to choose armor versus a Panzer Elite player can be very dangerous. Obviously, the anti-tank doctrine for the Panzer Elite, which I've yet to review, is very, very effective at just kind of hard countering armor players. So noticing that he was dealing with Luftwaffe, that was a perfect opportunity for him to go for a little bit of armor action there. But checking out the dude already, we can see that it looks like Budwise here using his cloaked Kettenkrad out front right now. Just gonna go ahead, casually build building an 88mm flak cannon up there. So the flak cannon is available to the Luftwaffe as well. That is the high end of one of their branches. They're able to build flak just like the defense commanders can. Same deal exactly. The Luftwaffe squad, however, has to build it, so you have to summon them first. So it looks like we're going to see a little bit of that. That'll certainly get rid of the camping outside of his base right now. We can see using the sight radius already, taking some shots. Unfortunately, just kind of whiffed with that first shot. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen. He definitely heard that sound. You can hear that sound all across the map, and bam! Inflicting a single casualty on that AT gun. AT gun trying its best to get the hell on out of here right now. And we can see one more shot. Oh! And the entire AT gun goes down while retreating. Downtown shot right there from that 88mm flak cannon. That's some badass stuff right there. So things are looking things are looking different for Budwise. I'm not gonna qualify it any more than that. But they're certainly looking different. Now we can see that this M8 Greyhound having no trouble sneaking around, capturing points here, using that raid ability from the armor doctrine. And it looks like a whole bunch of riflemen moving out here on the right-hand side. I just heard in my ear, composition B is in, so sticky bombs are out there right now. Not too much in the way of veterancy. Looks like one vet, one squad here. And the half-track moving alongside. So perhaps giving up that right-hand flank, which is perfectly okay, because honestly, oh, check out the Greyhound, by the way, also getting upgraded here again. Honestly, he doesn't need to own the front of his base. Sorry, FateBomb does not need to own the front of Budwise's base. That's just bonus points, honestly. He just needs to control this victory point. But look at the map dominance right now. He's probably controls, FateBomb probably controls about 75% of the map right now. Huge economic advantage to do whatever he wants. Taking a look at his army, you can see just a lot of vehicles. He's got 3 Greyhounds out there, 2 anti-tank guns, 4 rifleman squads, and the 1 support half-track. So stuff is looking pretty good. But you can already kind of see that he's just looks like Budwise is moving up here with his mortar half-track, which has got 5 kills. Mortar half-track, pretty darn accurate, very mobile, moving around right now, putting some pressure on the troops as they try and cap it there. And, oh! Damaging the engine of the M8 Greyhound as well, so that's just kind of bonus points. But you can see here, huge blob. Went ahead and upgraded a forward barracks here as well to kind of help out with resupplying on the field right now. It is 462 points for FateBomb, 248 right now for Budwise. And Budwise is finally back into this game. So the threat of losing to base destruction is gone. However, he still has to win this the normal way. So the name of the game now is both players has to decide how they're going to win this. Obviously, all that FateBomb has to do is just maintain the status quo. He just needs to control the victory points like he's doing. Look at this. He has a very visual wall here of troops guarding each victory point. Although he's kind of hanging back behind this one. That's the right move when you've got a whole wall of hedgerows to kind of hang out behind. And now you can see that it looks like, coming to the same conclusion, Budwise realizes he needs to control this side of the map. He needs to have right-hand control if he wants to win this game. It's probably going to be a little bit harder for him to grab the left-hand side. So now we've kind of had a reset in positions here. Both players now have been reset back a little bit. Oh, but we do see a Calliope is available. So as soon as he gets the requisition for that, I'm sorry, the supply for that, the manpower for that, we will be able to see Calliopes out there on the field right now. So don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad for FateBomb right now, because he does have his own nice little abusive ability to use out there right now. So definitely seeing the flat cannon spam out here, pretty interesting indeed. This will give Budwise solid control over the right hand side of the field and over any further incursions in his base. So we already have two flak 88s on the field right now, so that's a pretty big deal. And we can see the mortar team again damaging engines here, doing a pretty good job out there. I love this. What's your plan? Lose, but slowly. It's always good to have a good sense of humor when you're playing these kind of intense games right now. You can see Budwise, really chill guy right now. His plan at this point right now is just to lose, but slowly. He's going to make it costly. FateBomb is giving him some nice suggestions here. How about you hang on till Panther? Oh man, look at these mortars continuing to blow up all over the place here. So armored cars pushing in a little bit, ever inching forward here. Budwise is all over that, and you can see this verbal wind. I always want to call it the Ostwind, and of course Budwise has thrown out the idea of Panthers. Who needs a Panther? I'm not even gonna build. I don't even have any buildings for that crap, anyways. He's just gonna go ahead and push up with all of his nice little glass cannon-y vehicles here. Very deadly against infantry, and unfortunately, most of this side of the map has got infantry on it. So we can see the anti-tank gun taking down a wall here, just to kind of make a nice little line of fire. And now it looks like this first Panzer Grenadier squad is on the field, and they're going to start capping away. They have picked up an armor upgrade first.